So this feast today is very special to the Society of Jesus and really to any Marian congregation that is attached to the Society of Jesus, such as ours, because it commemorates that consecration, especially in the vowed life, as consecrated lives, not only to the service of the church, to the Lord, but also through Mary, which is exactly what we do here. Everything we do is directed in service to the church, in service to others, through Mary, because Mary herself represents the church. What we see here in the gospel is that moment when Jesus on the cross gives his most favored disciple to his mother, and she becomes his mother, and he becomes her son. In a certain way, the entire church is figured in there, in that we also, as disciples and favored disciples of the Lord, are given to Mary, for her to be our mother, but also as sons to protect her, to serve her as well. Mary at that moment figuring the entire church, and John figuring all the faithful of that church. And so that relationship between Mary is one thing that is very central to the life of a Jesuit. Because if we go back to the autobiography of St. Ignatius of Loyola, and even the spiritual exercises, one of the main themes that we hear in it is service. In the spiritual exercises, whom are we going to serve? We decide and we discern who we serve and how and to what extent we do it. And so also in the autobiography of St. Ignatius, a constant theme is searching for someone to serve. And so we find St. Ignatius going through that discernment process. We know originally he was a knight, he was a soldier, and he served his earthly king, his earthly prince, especially in battle in Pamplona against the French. Yet, being injured in that battle and in that service, he saw that it wasn't quite there, that his service was being fulfilled. And in that convalescence, in that time that he spent in Loyola recovering from the shot to the leg, that took quite a while to do, he was searching again to serve someone. He hoped to be able to get back and serve in a knightly fashion, but, well, the wound that he received and the way his leg was left after was never going to let him go back to military service. And so he felt this unease, this tension. He wanted to serve. And so the only thing he had to read there were the lives of the saints. And there he was inspired that if he could not serve a king or another man, well, let it be Christ, as he saw the example of all these saints before him. But even then, he made a very specific vow and a very specific service to the Lord through Mary. And one of the first things he does, especially as soon as he gets better, he makes a pilgrimage to Aranzazu, to a place where the Virgin Mary, a shrine of the Virgin Mary in the País Vasco, near to where he grew up. Although it was quite a walk, some of us did it a couple of years ago. And yeah, it was not an easy walk. It would have been a true pilgrimage. It would have taken them a couple of days to get there. But in Aranzazu, he has a moment where he gets in closer devotion to Our Lady. And it culminates on his way to Manresa, where he stops by the monastery of Montserrat, where there is a sacred image of Our Lady, and there he leaves his arms. He leaves his sword and his dagger. The symbols of earthly service to an earthly king, he hands over now to Our Lady, because she becomes the object of his service. And through her, she that represents the church, offered himself to serve the church, and look how he did it. The foundation of an order, one of the largest single orders in the church today, the longest formation of any religious order or for any formation for the priesthood is found in the Society of Jesus. And specifically that desire to serve through Our Lady. St. Ignatius, as a true knight, found no better service que servir su doncella, his lady, the lady that he can serve with his protection, with his devotion, and with his love, and he picked Our Lady. No other woman would do. And so St. Ignatius, following that example, we too devote ourselves to Our Lady and in service. For what do we devote our apostolates, our work, our formation, but to get closer to Our Lady, in service to Our Lady, and in doing so, we serve the Church. And so in this day, let us rejoice also with the Society of Jesus as we renew ourselves and remember our own consecration to Our Lady, our consecrations first in service, and how we serve the Lord in the Church in honor of His Holy Mother. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.